and thank you so much for joining me for day 20 of Scraptember, and today's prompt was to use a long title. Now you'll see here that I've actually created the title already just on a piece of packaging from some 12 by 12 things. Just because it would have taken so long to do on the video, I thought best to prepare that beforehand. And you can see I'm using two papers from Vicki Boutin Sweet Rush, this cloudy paper and the dotty navy as a background. I'm going to gut that navy one just so that I can use it for matting my photo as well. So I'm taking my white gesso out from Vicki Boutin, and I'm just marking in gesso where I want to put the title. This is just to damp down the clouds and the colour of the sky a little bit to make the title stand out a little bit more. And you'll see my water bottle on the left hand side. I sprayed this gesso with water, and this is an acrylic gesso, so it doesn't mix with the water, but it just adds a little bit more texture to the gesso because I'm not using it as gesso would normally be used. I'm just using it as a mattifying product, if you like, and something to take away the colour a little bit on the paper. So here I am gutting the paper now. And the reasoning behind this, as soon as I saw a long title, it took me straight back to our trips to Bangor in Northern Ireland, which is where my husband's from and his dad still lives. In the late 70s there was a song called Day Trip to Bangor. It was released and topped the charts at number 3, I think, in the UK. So it was right when I was 6 and very aware of music in the charts. And it was a song that we used to sing all the time in the car. It's about Bangor in North Wales. And the first lines of the song are, "Didn't we have a lovely time the day we went to Bangor?" But I always sing that song whenever we go over to Ross's dad's. In my head, that song just goes round and round and round. So as soon as I saw a long title, I thought, oh, I'm going to scrap that because it's something that I always think of. So I thought it would be fun. So I just grabbed a load of different thickers, very old alphabets and other bits and pieces. And my title actually is, "Didn't we have a lovely time the day we went to Bangor, ... Northern Ireland," because I wanted to explain that it's there, and then in brackets the Jamaica Inn, actually, because that's where we were headed for. So the picture is of my father-in-law, my daughter, my husband and my son, and they're just on the lovely coastal road that we walk, and it's become a bit of a family tradition to walk the 3 miles down to the beautiful Jamaica Inn for lunch and a drink before heading back along the coastal path again back to my father-in-law's house. And I really just wanted to document this. This was a trip that we did back in Easter of this year. So just matting this photo, as I say, I've matted it onto white cardstock, and now I'm going to mat it onto that dotty paper that I gutted from the inside, and then just adding some texture by using my Tim Holtz Distress Edger to distress the edges. And this Vicki Boutin paper is such lovely quality, it's so thick, it distresses really nicely and adds that texture that I'm looking for. So just checking that I'm happy still with those mats, that photo fits nicely in place. And now I'm going to distress the edges of the cloud paper and then adhere that to the backing paper just using some double-sided tape. And now that's down, it's just a case of transferring these letters from the paper, the backing paper, to the actual layout, and it takes some time. I won't bore you with watching all of that, but here we are towards the end Now most of the letters are down, and my photo's there because I just checked every so often that I was happy with the placement. Even though I'd done it on a clear paper, I just wanted to double check because sometimes things do change as you're adding them. So just adding those brackets at the end, and that's it. And it fits just right there. So going in with some foam pads as per usual, these lovely Sticks to 25mm foam pads to raise the photo up and give it prominence on the layout. And then I shall start going through all the embellishments that I've pulled out. You can see I've got the LE Studio April kit there to the left. I've pulled out some JD 3D print clouds and seagulls, and some die cut pieces from a very old Sycamore Lane LE Studio ephemera pack. So just deciding where those gulls are going to go, and then they'll be stuck down. And I love this cloud paper. I think it works really nicely with this photo. So I was very pleased to have found that. And there's just enough of the white behind the letters to make them stand out so that you can read the title. And the title and the photo are the main part of this layout. They're the bits that I want to shine, so I don't really want to add too much embellishing. Just a few bits. That family and this other card that I'm playing with that says the happiest of days are from a Rosie Studio set, but they don't make it. They're just a little bit too big and too fussy compared to the other pieces that I want to add. But the red heart and that Count Your Blessings hexagon are both from that Sycamore Lane LE Studio pack from years ago. Again, using up some of my older stuff. Always nice to use up some older stuff. Now this tag I decided is perfect. It just says quality time together, and it's perfect for adding my journaling. But when I lay it down, you can see it's just a little bit too big, so contemplate putting it on the side, but don't like that. So the photo hasn't been down that long. I can just carefully peel it off and move it ever so slightly to the right, just so that there's more room to fit that tag in so that I can get my journaling on. And that's when I realised that I hadn't even pulled one of the backing sheets off the foam pads. I'm terrible for that. Sometimes when you're rushing, you think you've got them all, and I don't double check. I really should. So sticking this phrase down that says what a wonderful day at the top, again from that Sycamore Lane thing, and the hexagon, and then I shall keep going through. So remembering to tie some string to my tag before I stick that down. I'll write my journaling once that's down. I think I do anyway. Trying to remember to put the lid on my glue. I forgot to put it back on the other day, and it all dried up in the nozzle. It was a real pain. So that flare is from Dotty About Flair, or the Flair Hat Whist or Dotty About Flair, and I'm just using one of these authentic words to stick on there, and I settled with one that says happiness. So just going to stick that down with some foam tape before carrying on. And now that's down, nestled nicely underneath the photo there, I pull out some label stickers. These are an old Illustrated Faith set, and I'm just choosing some colours that will coordinate nicely with this photo to layer them underneath. Just for definition, nothing else. Although I do end up adding the date to that one that I've just stuck down there with the fishtail banners. So just making sure that I'm happy with the placement of everything. And now I'm going to go in with my journaling on this tag. And I just write, the coastal walk from Grandad's to Jamaica Inn has become quite a tradition. And then in the bottom box, which normally I would have used for the date, but because I want to put the date on those labels that I put on, I just put Easter holidays so that we know that. Because sometimes the date doesn't always tie up. You don't remember why you were over. But I thought if I just write that it's Easter holidays, then we'll know. So deciding exactly where this is going to go, but I want it to go down towards the bottom of the photo. So I stick it down, and then I just have to peel up that R from the word Bangor just to position it over the top of the tag. So now just continuing to look through this little pile of bits that I've pulled out of my drawer, and I find these puffy buttons and stars from, I think they were Page Taylor Evans. I can't remember which range now, but I'd stick a little button and a star on there, and then these Studio Calico stickers. I just find a little asterisk that fits nicely there, and I think about this pink cloud, but it doesn't make it. I didn't want to introduce another colour really, not that way anyway. And then these are Amy Tan, very old puffy stickers, and there's a little cloud there that works nicely. And then I see this pink camera. I put it up there at first, but I'm not quite happy, and then I realise it'll go really nicely next to the heart in this bottom cluster of elements. I'm just trying to see if that green arrow would work, but again, it's another colour to introduce that I'm not bothered about. The pink camera works really nicely next to that red heart, so I was happy with that sitting there. Now another set of Illustrated Faith stickers, but there's nothing there. And then this Ellie Studio Big Smiles Puffy pieces, and I love that little speech bubble with a heart in the blue to tie in with the blue of the sky there. And then I pull off a phrase sticker here in the blue, and I try it in a few places. It says this photo says it all, and it is a lovely sticker, but then I find something better to go up there at the end of the video, so that one goes back for another day. So just seeing what else. And then I remember these Amy Tangerine. I'm determined that I'm going to finish these Amy Tangerine metal bits. But I think this is, for me, this is the last usable piece. That word lucky in bright colours and the pineapple, I'm just not sure. It'll sit in my stash for a bit, but if I can't find a use, it'll be passed on to Julie for her or Aubrey to use, I'm sure. I'm happy with that little heart banner. It looks quite sweet down there. I do love these ephemera pieces that are just a little bit different from the normal stickers and bits that we tend to use every day. I'm always on the lookout for those when they're released with new collections. So that's just another sticker that says there, and then a little star and a blue circle. So just having a check through to see what else I've got here. Seeing if there's anything else on this label sticker sheet. I tried that green one, but again, it's another colour that I don't really need to introduce. And then back to these die cuts from the April Ellie Studio kit. And this is where I find something to replace that blue label with. I really like this tab, and it says so happy about this. So it's a similar sentiment to the blue label that says this photo says it all. So I end up swapping them. And that's just about it. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please do check the description box down below to see everybody else who's joining in on this monthly hop. And there's a playlist, so you just click play and it'll show you all the videos, and there are new ones being added every day. So it's a really lovely thing to watch for inspiration. The prompts have been absolutely fantastic. They really have me thinking, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it so far. Can't believe we're 2/3 of the way through already. If you like my videos, I would love it if you give me a like and a subscribe. It really does mean the world to me, and it shows me that it's worth all this effort and time recording. Thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next prompt. Bye.